Hey you guys, it's me again, the MetaVerse Explorer. Thanks again for watching. So we have another interview. We've had interview after interview this week. Jeez. So we have with us today, we have CheifApe Officer, and he's from the Soul Tigers, but no more Soul Tigers. They're called the TigerLabs crew now. So they're minting their NFTs, PFP pictures, but it's actually more than just PFP pictures. There's a whole ecosystem behind it. So we have CheifApe Officer coming in to talk to us about these NFTs. CheifApe, how are you going?
Hey, doing well. Thank you so much for having me on here, Meta. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure.
No problems, man. Nice
Big
to
fans.
have you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So CheifApe, before we start, I just want to let the watchers know that there are timelines down below. So if you have any specific queries in the interview, you can go and find out. And also like and subscribe, that's usual. So I guess we'll jump right in, CheifApe. Can you tell us who you are and kind of the team behind the product that you're giving to Solana?
Yeah, absolutely. So feel free to call me Chief,
Yep.
as well. It's probably shorter. So we are a team of U.S.-based sort of crypto investors and enthusiasts and NFT enthusiasts, guys that have been trading together for a long time. And a number of us work together in medicine, paramedics and emergency medicine folks. And we did this for a long time and just sort of, as investors, looked at it one day and said, how can we have fun in this space and do things differently and sort of create a project with all of the elements that we love from projects we've invested in before. So that was the impetus for starting this. So we have 5 executive team members. We have about a dozen other individuals who work on the project in various roles, including community managers, mods, content creation, marketing, front and back end development, blockchain stuff. And then we've got people scattered around basically Europe and Australia as well, but the core team is US based.
Right. Where did they come from? Do you guys all know each other? Did you just recruit each other from the community?
So 3 out of 5 of us on our core team actually know each other personally, like in real life, friends and colleagues who work together on the ambulance, the fire department. And then the other guys are folks that we've been trading with for years, and absolute legends, people that you trust with your portfolio. So guys who've sort of proven themselves over time and have a good skill set for this project.
Right. Okay. So you got a good solid crew behind you. So then, can you tell us about this project that you guys have started? What is TigerLabs?
Yeah. So TigerLabs is basically our brainchild of, again, like as investors, if we could make anything in the NFT space and have it sort of be the perfect NFT in terms of the things that we love about projects, what could we make?
Oh, I don't know,
and it's
man.
Funny because
perfect is a very heavy word.
Oh, it's true, and we're actually very far from perfect. We've made plenty of stumbles on the way, so but we are transparent. So yes, perfection is a goal that will never be attained. But looking at things that we love and then finding a way to do them non-derivatively, and so it's funny. As you mentioned, we're a PFP project, but we're a lot more than that. So we are tigers. Our art's pretty awesome. We have tiger PFPs, but really the project is about more than that. It's about truly, like, our goal is to build the next Bored Apes Yacht Club on Solana. And I know it's a bold statement, but I think that it's something we can back up with actions and sort of commitment, demonstrated commitment on that front. So everything that we're doing is about a long game. It's about innovation. It's about developing a strong community, and not looking for that short-term gain, but looking for how do you generate a strong community with strong value in the long term.
I can definitely attest to the art you were talking about. We're on the Twitter at the moment. I'm going to link it down here for you guys to see. They've got some really nice looking tigers here. Look at this guy. He's got like golden teeth. He's got a helmet. It's crazy. Yeah, the art is very different to what we typically see in the Solana NFT space.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. A lot of what we, again, looking at this as holders, what we try to do with the art is, again, everything's non-derivative. Like, how can we borrow the best of what we love without making it the same? And so I know for me as an investor, like if I buy a project and I can't tell how rare something is before the rarity info has dropped, I don't really know what to do with it. And so there are things that I think Bored Ape sort of sets the standard on, right? Like solid gold and rainbow. and Galaxy, and traits that are universally good looking, and also people are like, yes, that is something that I want. So we try to pay homage to that, but also do it differently, do it in our own way. But hopefully you can look at that and be like, that's definitely one I'm holding on to, even before you know what the ranking of it is, because they all look good. But I think it's fun when you can say like, oh yeah, this is a good pull here.
Yeah, yeah. That brings me really to the next question, which is, that, as we all know, it's saturated in Solana NFT market at the moment. What really differentiates you guys from there? I know we've talked a bit about the art, but you said you have some other facets of the actual ecosystem, and we have the treehouse up here at the moment. Maybe you can talk about the treehouse.
Yeah, so the Treehouse Labs and now Tigers Labs is sort of it's a nod of the head towards our broader vision and inspiration here, which is like, there's a lot of easier ways to spend time and invest than starting a massive long-term NFT project. But what we can do here that we can't do anywhere else is innovate. And so that's what the labs are about. And we want to be the mad science lab of NFTs. Sort of, I think the inspiration for this for me was Bored Apes with Mutant Apes. That was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in NFTs. It was like absolutely brilliant. And so looking at that and saying like, I guess anything is possible in this space, right? And so that's where we're approaching it from is as Tiger Labs and as Treehouse Labs, how can we push things forward and find new ways to sort of develop surprises and innovation in that space? So we're a long-term community. Our whole goal in the Treehouse is about bringing long-term value to holders. We're doing a 50% rewards or royalties reflection as rewards, which will be claimable every 2 weeks, just like Lazy Lions. We have airdrops of merch. We have VIP memberships for folks that are holding either 5, 10, or 20, a tiered VIP component there, which will give you extra benefits. And all of this stuff is free. Like, that's another thing that differentiates us, I think, is we're not like trying to throw things into the ecosystem and then charge you, through the nose for it, right? It's like,
Yeah,
we love building a community. And oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, like once you have that NFT, once you have that Tiger NFT, you're already in the ecosystem, so you get to benefit from everything. That what you're
Yeah,
saying?
totally. Yep. And especially these Genesis Tigers, this early collection, uh, uh, knowing where we're going, we definitely want to stack the value on these so that people who get in early can be sort of respected and rewarded for their contribution to the community. So, like this week, we just launched these 3D membership cards, which the cards are simply a vessel for the rewards that are coming, but you can also sell the card if you want, and it looks really good. And as we've seen, I think recently, plenty of these sort of member passes will sell for a massive amount of money. Um, our goal is to bring people in long term, but we also want to give people choices. I think if we can prove to you that you should stick around long term, that's awesome. But I also, as an investor, I want to be able to make up my own mind, and I don't want to get just stuck with things I can't do anything with. So it's all about giving choices and opportunities and proving to people over time, like, yes, we are who we say we are. We're doing what we say we intend to do, and we're going to take this thing very, very far.
Yeah.
So, buckle up.
So you did mention the passes that I have 2 videos for, and we'll have a look at that very quickly. But just quickly on the treehouse, you've got something here, which is the Tiger Balm airdrop. So holders of a tiger and a tigress, I guess they're 2 NFTs that you can mint probably, and you'll be eligible for the Tiger Balm airdrop. Can you talk about what Tiger Balm is and why we need it for an airdrop?
Yeah, and so we switched things up a little bit and surprised people we accelerated the Tiger Bomb piece and dropped it on holders last week as a surprise.
Surprise!
Now there will be a second Tiger Bomb piece that will be dropping in there later on. But Tiger Bomb is sort of our equivalent of a mutant serum. So we have an amazing artist who does these sort of scientific illustrations of mushrooms and reached out and was like, "Hey, could we work this into your project somehow?" So we sort of thought about, what could you do, and figured out that we could work that in as a Tiger Bomb component, and we created these mutant tigers and dropped 441 surprise mutants into the collection. And anybody who drew those, they're totally randomly distributed. We just picked a trait and assigned a mutant trait to it. So if you're lucky enough to grab one of those and you hold it, you will also get a Tiger Bomb serum dropped to you, which again you can use to mutate another Tiger. You can hold it over time. You can sell it on secondary. Whatever you want to do, choice is yours. But the mutants came out really, really cool. We've got a bunch of different artists sort of on the team who work on different aspects that they're passionate about. Because I think people do best when they're having fun. And so we just had this artist who was like, I want to mutate stuff. I want to dive into this. Yeah. It's like, let's do it. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Yeah. See what we can do.
So, okay, cool. We've got the videos here that we talked about. I'm just going to play it for maybe the two of them, maybe 10 seconds each, and we'll see. And then maybe you could talk to us about the passes. So I'm just going to play it here for the audience to see. So this is the silver membership. As you can see, it's like a 3D model, and there's art at the back. VIP passes grant members. Oh, I missed that. It looks nice. Like the art itself looks pretty cool. Let's have a look at the second one now. Now the second one is gold themed. Oh, very nice. Isn't that nice? It's got the whole 3D thing going on. That's awesome. So, okay. So that's the gold membership and the silver membership. Can you tell us about gold, silver, and what the membership entails?
Yeah. So we've got 3 levels: gold, silver, and diamond. And pre-pandemic, I did a lot of flying on Delta, and they do a silver, gold, diamond. And I'd say that's sort of the inspiration is it's rewarding your customers, right? And it's like, it's not easy to reach the first tier. So we are saying it's 5, 10, and 20 for silver, gold, and diamond. And we actually have quite a few people that are sitting at each of those tiers right now. But once you get there, you get a lot of awesome benefits. And so we're at the moment looking at essentially allocating a certain percentage of airdrops of whitelist spots, custom merchandise, various community events and giveaways, and a whole bunch of other things that are cooking on the back end.
And is this, sorry to interrupt, is this the merch that's on your main website at the bottom there? The merch that's coming soon?
So that's some of the merch that we have available, and so we can pump that out at any point. But for the diamonds in particular, we really want to make custom merch. Like, one thing I love about Bored Apes and Solana Monkey Business and these things is like embroidered hoodies with your ape on it. I think that's an awesome community building sort of something that transcends the digital and physical worlds. So that's something we definitely want to sort of develop out on this. And I think it's probably cost prohibitive to make everybody a custom hoodie, but certainly when you're looking at a small tier of diamonds or whatever it is, you can reward them. We also, I want to add, we are also super big on being like objectively fair about everything. I think it's frustrating for holders when they feel like some people get everything and some people don't. And so that's why, for instance, with our Tiger Bomb, like, luck of the draw, right? 441 distributed randomly amidst the 7,777.
Yeah.
Completely objective. Candy Machine organizes it. It's what it is. You get it, and you not only get the Tiger Bomb for free, but you also get a second one that drops into your wallet, the next couple of weeks, which you can use or sell. So it's we want to reward people for investing and holding, and really, I mean, what that's about is more growing the community. But we also want to make sure everybody has a fair shot at succeeding beyond just their initial investment, of sort of getting those benefits that we like to just throw at holders and surprise them with.
I think that's,
and the pass is like,
I think that's pretty,
go ahead.
I think that's pretty good, because we do have a lot of PFP projects in the space that aren't quite fair, and there's not full transparency on that. So like that brings to mind, when I was researching you guys do have an audit with Cert. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you talk to us about that, please?
Yeah, so we partnered with Cert. We launched right at that moment in Solana, where there were quite a few rugs in the space, and it was sort of the first rugs that hit the Solana space. And Sol is a pretty tight community on the NFT side, and one thing we like is it's tight, but it's also sort of idealistic in a good way, right? Like, they have a standard they want to uphold. And so we looked at this and saw sort of 2 opportunities, and one was let's throw some airdrops to rug victims, and 2 is let's try and set a new standard and push the boundaries a little higher to encourage projects in general, 1, to show holders that we're safe, and 2, to show other projects like what can be done. So Cert ensures that the largest crypto security company, they insure like $1 trillion of cryptocurrency. They definitely don't mess around with the people that they partner with, because they're on the hook for that. And so we went through a super extensive auditing process of our team and our project, and doxing to Certic and talking to them at length, going through everything. And we are actually the first project on Sol that has, or NFT project on Sol that has ever partnered with them, which is a pretty cool little milestone.
Yeah,
and I think
strides.
Yeah, we're trying. We're definitely committed to investing the time and money to do this right at every step. And again, we're not perfect, but we always are transparent and listen to suggestions, and really, really strive for excellence wherever we can achieve it.
Yeah, awesome. Right. That's right on. I'm really a big advocate of transparency, and if you guys have an audit behind you, that's pretty good. And I'm sure, I think, is it public? Will we be able to verify with Certic? What's the process? Would you know?
Totally. Yeah. So we're currently on the Skynet. We're listed as onboarding, which I think there's it's sort of a vague term. So for an NFT project, we're in uncharted territory in the sense that the code of an NFT project isn't really complex to audit. It's not like a crazy, token with various features. It's more about the team, and I think we're going to see that as more NFT projects get audited. I think that's the direction it will go. And so there's a pre-vetting process, or not even a pre. There's an extensive vetting process that occurs before you are onboarded to Certic, and before they ever agree to work with you. And that's where your team and your project are extensively vetted. You're doxed. You go through all of that process, and then they decide whether they view you as a risk or liability or an asset. And so that took over a week to complete from when we started it, not from when we started working with them, but from when they started the actual vetting process. And currently, because we're the first NFT on Solana to go through this audit process, we basically just said, hey man, audit the Metaplex candy machine, because no one's done it. So we're auditing the open source code that all the NFTs are spit out of, which will extend our audit time a little bit, but I think it's important to distinguish that, again, the fact, so we are listed on Skynet and we are vetted as a team in a project. Certic is actually offered to jump in and do an AMA and explain that distinction. And also, I think it'd just be fun for holders to talk to someone who has that sort of top level perspective on $1 trillion of crypto security. So we'll get that going at some point, which would be a lot of fun.
Having
great to have you in there as well.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Having Certic behind you would definitely give like an entire project more legitimacy to make the whole community know that they're actually serious about this.
Yeah, and just to be clear too, again, like we have officialized the partnership. We've retained Certic. They have partnered with us. We are personally and professionally vetted, project vetted. So right now the audit will list as complete when the open source code has been audited, which I think will be great for the community overall.
Awesome. Let's change gears a little bit. So you guys are currently minting the NFTs at the moment from TigerLabs. What's the current project up to, and what's the next iteration of TigerLabs? What's next to follow after minting ends, and when does it end actually?
Yeah, so minting will end this Friday. Anything that's left over at that point will be burned, and the supply will reflect that. So we've been on a nice steady uptrend. We were sort of a slow fill initially, but we also have so many exciting things planned that I think it's just, there's no point in stringing people along. We already know where we're going with this, so why not just make a smaller supply if it's what's needed? So we are burning whatever is left on Friday. We'll be listing on Eden immediately afterward. And then we have a whole bunch of exciting stuff planned. One thing that we're very, very bullish on is fusion. And we're working, so basically like a Souls type fusion, where you almost just reverse the candy machine, and instead of sticking a bunch of different things in there and getting 7,000, you stick 2 things in there and you randomize their traits and get out one right. NFT as a result. Yep. So I think it's awesome. It's fun. It's like that choose your own adventure sort of degen opportunity, and I love that. Like, you don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, have the opportunity.
There, yeah.
Totally. Especially we have the Tigers is coming out, which will also be able to be fused, and we're still finalizing these fusion contracts. They're super complex, and we don't want to drop anything before it's perfected. So it'll be a couple weeks for that. But we'll be implementing that on Tigers, Tigresses, and then we'll enable fusion between Tigers and Tigresses for Cubs, which is sort of a mind bender on the technical side right now.
You got some derivatives coming. Jeez.
Yeah. So but it can be done, and we verified that, and we're trying to see like how can we do it in a cool, interesting way, right? Like I don't want to just take your tiger and tigress and then fuse them down and give you just like a tiny version with the same traits. We want to find a way to again be objectively fair, so anyone can fuse those down and do the breeding and end up with something really rare. But also, we sort of snuck some fun incentives to do fusion into these collections. So like looking at loot, we added some named traits, themed traits, almost like guild stuff in World of Warcraft or Diablo. So like the
fun.
Satoshi
Jeez.
set. Yeah, so like if you have, let's say that you've got the Satoshi golden monocle and the Satoshi armor. If you want to double down and fuse those together and take that risk, like you can do it, and you can fuse the whole set together if you want to, if you're feeling lucky. And so we want to work on a way where that rarity will play into sort of the likelihood of rare traits coming out in your cub too, because I think that makes it a lot more fun if you can literally fuse your way through tigers and tigresses, get the sort of precursors you want, and then throw those into the mix. It just like it opens up this whole world of possibilities. And we have had some awesome discussions with our community about other ways to use fusion, and I think fusion's just like it's fun, it's cool, it's uncharted territory, which is awesome. Like you never know what it's going to spit out. So I would love to see what other uses the community comes up with, but we have 3 in the works right now already.
Yeah, man.
So it's going to be Fusion Central.
I'm just even looking at just some of the artwork, and some of them look so unique already. I don't know what a Fusion is going to bring, even more unique pictures. That's crazy. They look.
It's going to be wild.
Yeah,
and with the mutants in there too, I'm like really curious to see what's going to happen if somebody fuses like a mutant with a non-mutant and then fuses that with a tigress. Like, again, I have literally no idea what it's going to spit out, but it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, there's a whole planet to discover out there. Jeez. And speaking of your community, that I see there on your Discord, you have 7,000 members strong, which is pretty good for some PFP ecosystem projects. That's impressive as well. And you've got your Twitter followers as well. Let's see how many Twitter followers you have.
We've been building
8K, nice as well.
Yeah, it's been fun. I think the best part for me personally in the last week or two has been getting to know sort of core community members and the people that are really putting in time and building it. And we've got somebody with an OG CryptoPunk in our community who's like, this thing is going to be the next Bored Apes, and I'm 100% on board to make it there. And like that feels good. That's it's exciting to see people that have been around a long time recognizing the same thing that we see in our project and sort of coming together to say like, yeah, let's make sure that this thing achieves what we know that it can achieve.
That's community building. Yeah, definitely. You build a good product, people will come. Definitely.
Yep.
So it's getting to 22 minutes here. So I think we'll move on to some of the other questions we had. So
sure.
Tell me, so we know the next phase is the tigresses, that you're going to do more minting. So what's the current, how much has been minted already, and how much is due to be burned at the current rate? So we got, I think, 1 more day left. Do you know how much has been minted?
Yeah, so we are at close to 4,000 minted right now out of 7,777, which I'm happy with. Like that's a good enough number so that things will not be so absurdly scarce that nobody can get them, but also not so absurdly common that no one wants them. I think I'd be happy to get to 7,777, but I'm totally good with whatever the community wants. And we burned $120,000 of NFTs in the last 24 hours, and I really could care less. Like, it's what people want. We'll do it. We'll have fun with it, and we'll see where it shakes out. And we have so much stuff. I think the biggest the biggest consequence of burning now is just going to be that people will be less inclined to fuse their tigers because there will be less of them. However, we all know, our degen trading days. I feel like I would be hard pressed to not fuse at least a couple. So
same here.
It's just too fun. You got to have fun with it.
So I just wanted to clarify as well. We're on phase 1 of your roadmap. So we're currently minting 777 Genesis Tigers. Do the 555 Tigers for rug victims and airdrop to investors, do they count to this 7,000, or this is separate entirely?
Yeah, they do. So I guess we're probably at around 36 or 37 then we have a couple left of. I think we have about 50 airdrop tigers left for rug victims.
Right.
So.
Okay, awesome. And I had another quick question for you. So you guys do have some royalties built into the NFTs you have here for the Tigers. As you know, in Solana, there's been a few issues with the royalties and all of these issues going on. So FTX doesn't want to list them because they're technically securities, because they give you sort of an income or there's an expectation of profit. What is your team's stance on this? What's the current thoughts of you guys here?
That's a really good question. Yeah, so we will deliver whatever the community wants ultimately. I think that Solana Monkey Business and some other projects have found interesting ways where you reward people in a banana is worth a banana, but a banana is worth what a banana is worth, and you get X bananas per. There's a lot of clever ways to do it.
Yep.
One thing is we've realized that language, or we've learned from our legal side, language matters quite a bit, as far as like not calling yourself a DAO right now if you're not prepared to take the brunt of the publicity on DAOs being related to securities. I've also talked to Cert and some other people about it, and I think that the argument is pretty thin, honestly, on it. But as you how it is in crypto, it's like buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yep.
Anybody gets just a whiff of any sort of FUD, and they're like, "Oh my God, the whole place is burning down." Like realistically, like Meerkat Millionaires put out an awesome thing today where they addressed this in detail, and I was really impressed. Like they basically broke it down and were like, "Look, everyone is losing their hair over this, and it's sort of absurd. Like this is what it actually looks like based on our legal assessment, and this is how we mitigate it, and et cetera, et cetera."
Yeah.
So I think it's all going to blow over at some point, but we also we've made a commitment to honor the community's wishes, and so we'll find a way to do it. Like I think that's the cool thing about running a project, is like there's really not that many things I can say no to in terms of like it can't be done. It's just a lot of it has to be creatively addressed, and our community is awesome about that. So they're throwing ideas that I've never thought about. So we'll do it in a fun way. However we do it, we'll do it in a fun way that doesn't handicap the project in terms of what we are seeking to achieve long term, but also ensures that everybody gets the rewards that they want.
Yeah, I think it's just the recent fad that has gotten a bit of FUD and will be moved on very soon to another trending topic. I think most of these will just blow over, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, right. Okay. So we'll look to wrapping it up. I'm going to ask you two general questions if I can. So the first question is, your team, yourself and your team, what are your current thoughts of what's happening in Solana at the moment? How's the ecosystem going? What are your thoughts of Solana Ignition? Did you guys participate? What are you looking for in Solana at the moment? And what's actually missing?
Yeah, so we didn't participate in Ignition. I think we're sort of newer kids on the block in that sense still. So we made our own road initially. As far as the ecosystem, I think Solana is an awesome space because it is establishing itself as, I feel like it's kind of like the anti BSC.
Yep.
BSC is like all these degen things, and Solana is like, we care about good art, and
we're a bit serious.
Yeah, so it's a cool place to try and build something that will truly last in the long run, and actually have a place where it can grow, and I think that Solana and ETH are going to be the major sort of NFT houses
Smart
of
contract.
crypto.
Yep.
Totally. So it's fun.
I was going to say, I think Ethereum will lead the EVM chains, of course, maybe with some layer 2s, but anyone who wants to use a smart contract outside of an EVM will be coming to Solana. This is where the rest of the entire ecosystem and financial markets will probably be built.
Yeah, I believe that. I can definitely see that.
Yep. Okay. What do you guys think of the current PFP markets in Solana at the moment? People are a bit upset with all the FUD happening. What else do you think?
Well, yeah, it's funny. I think if we were not actually committed to this for a long game, like a true Bored Ape style long game of we're going years with this, then I would be pulling my hair out about the sort of vacillations of the market on a given day. But what I do see is that they always, Solana investors always gravitate to good projects. And it takes a little while, and again, we had a slow start, but we're already seeing it, that people are starting to flock over and be like, oh wow, this is different. So I think that the market's whims overall, we saw things like Lions and a lot of stuff that just like dropped in and insta sold out, massive collection, and then like the devs disappeared. The project was completely, lying through their teeth about stuff. And then I think we swung to the other side where it was less about like, oh, these big Gucci launches, and now like let's just launch something, at a like a small collection at a small amount and see what happens. And so I think people are sort of all over the place on like how to launch an NFT on there. I think the best thing to do, probably if you're interested in it, is just be a good person, stick to your plan, make a roadmap, and actually
build.
Don't launch any. Yeah, like if you're going to put the time in, launch it. If you're not committed to doing that, then don't bother. But if you are, the market will always accept innovation, I think, in the long run. So that's my theory.
Awesome. No, thank you for that. And we're getting to 30 minutes now. Last question for you, mates. What advice would you give to someone in or outside of crypto? It could be, exercise once in a while, always use a ledger, anything. What kind of advice would you give to someone?
Oh yeah, get a dog so you're forced to go and get some fresh air.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, I think the other one I was going to add is just invest in things that you believe in, and don't worry about the day to day on them. But you can do that because you believe in them and you've vetted them. So that certainly took a lot of stress off me over time as an investor. But yeah, get a dog. I mean, that's the best advice I can give anyone. Good for your blood pressure.
And what's your dog's name, if I can ask?
Yeah, he's named Bowie. He's a good dude.
Yeah, nice. All right, I think we'll wrap it up there. Bowie, I hope you're listening. We'll see you sometime soon, hopefully.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's chewing a bone on my foot. He's a happy man.
Okay, CheifApe Officer. Guys, this has been MetaVerse Explorer and CheifApe Officer. We've been talking about TigerLabs NFTs and the whole ecosystem. You can find their Twitter right here at TigerLabs. They're minting now at the moment, and they've got, I think, till this Friday until they finish minting, and then they burn everything. We've also got their Discord on the left-hand side here with 7,000 members. I'm going to link both of these resources as well as the homepage for you to go and find out about their treehouse and what other stuff they've got planned for these NFTs. So I'm going to link all that down here below. Chief, thank you very much for joining us, man.
MetaVerse Explorer, it's been an absolute pleasure. Really enjoyed this, so thank you so much. You're an excellent host.
No problem. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Everything's a work in progress, we go from nothing, and then we start doing interviews, and then people like it.
Always. Well, that's where we're at too, so we can work in progress together.
Yeah, man, we build
onwards
together.
And upwards. Always. Yep.
Okay, guys, so this is MetaVerse Explorer. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your time. Like and subscribe if you like the content so people can see it. If you're a Tiger person, welcome. Thank you for watching as well. We will see you sometime soon, and maybe we can chill out in the treehouse together.
Absolutely. Thanks.
All right. See you guys. Bye, Chief. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Take care.
Okay. Ciao.